We keep hearing about this leak, this U.S. national security documents with Ukraine, China secrets turned up in nightmare leak. You know, say we still see the classified documents have turned up on the websites and so forth on. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we know for well where that bullshit coming from because it don't make no sense. We see, you know, say Biden goes quiet as Trump grabs the spotlight. You know, say yeah, because he piece of shit in the garbage and one, and just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He need to go silent, and Trump needs to take the spotlight because he really ain't saying too much. You know what I'm saying? But this look like it's coming in like who? Like what is it called? Heiston Wills 3 days ago. You know what I'm saying? Washington Examiner again. You know what I'm saying? They seem to be on their dime. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, soaks up national headlines. President creepy Joe Biden is in the midst of a 5-day stretch with no public event. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you better come up with a good plan because the garbage that he showed the country is really not much to be talking about at all. You know, we see the creep Biden last made an appearance on Tuesday, to discuss the dangers of artificial intelligence. Can you imagine that? Yeah, something that can harm human life in many ways. You know what I'm saying? While he's sitting there talking about the dangers of this, when you go right along with it with Elon Musk, because you know what, y'all apparently letting them do it anyway. So I don't understand why you keep saying a danger. You need to provide us with more details other than just talking garbage. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He held a new public event Wednesday and left Thursday for Camp David, where he'll stay to Easter Sunday. And frankly, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? Now we see this other idiot jump up on the scene, this so-called anti-Scoopachi, the killing weasel. You know what I'm saying? He's saying 2 infants suffered a rare brain damage from the COVID infection in the womb in landmark case, you know what I'm saying, as we see, you know what I'm saying, which we know he's full of shit and garbage as well. I don't give a damn who sitting up there saying that he is some kind of doctor. He's a mad scientist and this is his ego work. Now, I mean, when we really look at it, this is his ego work. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, we see a new study from the University of Miami, you know what I'm saying, is revealing the first 2 cases of COVID-19, infecting infants, you know what I'm saying, in the womb and causing brain damage. On Thursday, in the womb, so it's affecting the babies in the womb, according to Anthony Fauci, the killer weasel, in this article, you know what I'm saying, that's coming in by the Independent, you know what I'm saying, and it came in 3 days ago, It looked like Adriana, you know what I'm saying, Boyd or something like that 3 days ago, Independent, sorry to mess up your name, but he's trying to say in newborn, some newborns, you know what I'm saying? But on Thursday, researchers at the University of Miami Health Systems, you know what I'm saying, and the University of Miami Miller School of Medicine found 2 cases where COVID-19 breached a mother's placenta and affected the newborn. You know what I'm saying? Pick up people, pay attention. At the national, from what we're seeing here, intensive care United, the NICU at the Holst Children's Hospital, 2 newborn tested negative for COVID at birth, but both had significantly elevated antibodies in their blood. Antibodies in their blood. Now I'm saying key word, but the infants were born to young mothers who tested positive for the virus at some point in their pregnancy. In 2020, neither mother was greased, as grease was not available at that time. You know what I'm saying? At birth, both newborn experienced, neither one was greased, because no grease was available at that time. Yeah, but it still come out too. They were tested positive. At birth, both newborns experienced seizures and acquired, uh, look like microscopy, small head size, and develop development delay. One infant died at 13 months of age, and others is currently in hospice care, whatever they call it. One infant born at 32 weeks experienced seizures in the days after birth. According to the study, the infant was discharged at 3 months of age with a seizure disorder and a microcephaly or whatever. I don't know what they mean, but whatever it is, it ain't good. Unlike various, like, say, and so forth, when we get the picture, Anthony Fauci ain't no more than Igor, saying, he's alive, killing weasel from way back with Richard Nixon and even before, all the way up to what we see today. So we know that the 800 billion people is going to already, because they're already up to 7 million. So 7 million all across the planet, and then you look at the situation with Anthony Fauci we just talked about, and then you see another 10 years, where there is a slow birth rate, have slowed down to what we see going on in the infantry level. But we see Trump blasts maroon, moron, blasts moron Biden after, creepy Joe Biden after White House blames him for Afghanistan. Yes, he's to blame for Afghanistan because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to sabotage the whole thing, put us at danger by leaving $50 billion zillion worth of equipment, and so on, making it now even worse for our troops. You know what I'm saying? But we see another one coming in here. It says absolutely insane. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said he will pardon Army sergeant who killed a Black Lives Matter protester. You know what I'm saying? We're going to leave that where that's at, and we're going to move on. You know what I'm saying? We see Joe Biden enlists hundreds of social media influence for upcoming re-election bid. Yeah, a bunch of liars that are going to tell a whole bunch of lies probably when we really look at it. You know what I'm saying? When we really look at it in more ways than one, that's about all going to happen with that. You know what I'm saying? But we see another one coming in here on this live. You know what I'm saying? Some Long Island residents say hostile housing plans will mean the influx of new students, which is true. They're going to bring more people in there, but also they have to understand that, those houses don't necessarily get to black people, or even American whites or many others. It sometimes go to outsiders or people, who are ahead of the game, and those who really need to been suffering for years are probably going to die doing that because of the even Democrats, and their bullshit, will never attain even one of those places. So, but it's needed in Long Island because the housing situation on Long Island is garbage compared to a lot of other places. The most, the worst place to live to me sometimes is Long Island because of even the distance of travel. You don't have transportation and many other factors, and then when you seek help, you really don't get the help that you truly are seeking for. Even in many of the governmental agencies around here, they still see a lot of shit going on, in itself. No matter how hard you work, it's like they like to say, the rich people like to say, or they always say in more ways than one, the people that work the hardest get the less. Yeah, imagine that. And the people who rob, steal, murder, blood-sucking, vampire, killing, raping, sex trafficking, slaving, doing all kinds of garbage get all the riches. I really see what a wonderful world this is. You know what I'm saying? We see Alan Bragg's staff urges Jim Jordan to stay at home in Ohio if he wants to look at high murder rates rather than tweaking tweaking to New York. You know what I'm saying? He's always some shit instead of tweaking to New York. Manhattan District Attorney Alan Northcase Braggs has charged Trump with falsifying business records. House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan is holding a field hearing in New York to try to shame Braggs. Braggs' aides said Jordan could more effectively crack down on crime by looking at murders in Ohio, and that is true. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, look at the murder rate in New York, in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't even have one. So lead step by step how to write and earn a nice check. You know what I'm saying? So what? But an aide at Manhattan District Attorney Alan Braggs praised himself. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan would be better served the public in investigating homicides in his own backyard. Well, wait a minute. Alan Braggs is fucking out of his mind. What the fuck is he talking about? And stop taking my videos down talking about his violence and misinformation when it's true. Why would you be talking about Jim Jordan in Ohio when you ain't even got a grip on what we saw went on in this here New York State, even in the subways and all across New York, people just walking up and blowing people's brains out. You know what I'm saying? Carrying on and all kind of murder in the subway, which we know was planned by the demon Democrats to cause chaoticness even right here in the heart of the New York City. So you ain't fooling nobody with the garbage, you see what I'm saying? So what you're saying about Jim Jordan is really what the hell you should be doing. You just trying to use reverse psychology on Jim Jordan, but it's the same thing because you ain't did shit. And you got bail reform letting out criminals and all kinds of crooked people to go right back out on the street just like you did with Black Lives Matter. And their little group and their big crowd they had, while they crack a couple of heads and bust it wide open until you see the meat, you know what I'm saying? You put them in jail and then next thing you know, Alan Braggs let them right back out. You know what I'm saying? And all kinds of bullshit went on in New York. And you talking about Jim Jordan, you garbage. I don't even want to read anything to do with this at all. You garbage. Talking about Jim Jordan. You better look at New York and what you did and allowed, along with the rest of the demon Democrats and your crooked ass plan to slam bang this shit into people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not on my face. You got nerve. He really got some nerves to try to use that reverse psychology bullshit and wordplay. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You word playing, Alan Braggs. You word playing. You garbage. You know what I'm saying? But we see FBI has one come out. This is by, looks like Dan Bahai, published April 10, 2023. We see these capital regions, countries saw a shocking increase in violent crimes. Oh, of course, because the demon Democrats are in office. What part don't you understand, my friend? You know what I'm saying? But year over years, life changed around us. People come and go from their homes, and entire neighborhoods and towns will experience the highest and the highest, followed quickly by the lowest of the low. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It all comes in a blink of an eye. Yeah, when you're dealing with the demon Democrats, you could best believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? And the crooked shit that they do in our government, you know what I'm saying, and been doing for years. You know what I'm saying? It's always a catastrophe with them. And then guess what? Every time it's a catastrophe or some ruling come down to do some garbage to the people, guess who's the first state to be rocking it right down the pipe? The Empire State, New York State. Is a dangerous state. And it needs to change. Because the Big Apple used to be one of the places where everybody wanted to come to. Now it becomes one of the most dangerous and psychological game-playing states that I've ever seen in my life. And you got all kinds of jackasses following them right down the mother fucking tubers right to hell, and want the rest of us to go down there with them and have no other opinion other than what you say we can say, and you say that we don't say, but we do say you want to get mad and be listening, you want to be hacking your phone, you want to do all kinds of bullshit to you, and be all up in your cocoa hole. You see what I'm saying? But frankly, I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the bullshit that they have been doing, because you've been doing it for, my entire lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So where the FBI see all this shit going on, talking about, it all comes in, a blink of an eye from what I can tell. You know what I'm saying? That, type of change is simply, a part of life. You know what I'm saying? During the course of one calendar year. You know what I'm saying? During the course of one calendar year. Every capital region country experienced a great deal of change, and recently released, statistics from the FBI have further proven that because that was orchestrated. It was not unexpected, especially when it came to Trump. We was waiting on this. All that we seen went on in 2020 with Black Lives Matter, the Capitol riots, the crooked shit, Black Lives this, and crooked shit, Black Lives that, and crooked shit rushing up on the Capitol, creepy Joe Biden cheating the election. All that shit we expected, and that's what we were waiting to see to prove our point in itself. And you did just that by exposing their dumbass. And that goes for crooked ass Republicans as well. So we don't feel no way to say anything about what we seen going on, because we know it was already planning to fall in exactly that order. You know what I'm saying? But we see Senate GOP wants Trump to stay away from the 20. Why should he stay away from that? You know what I'm saying? 2024 race as his legal woes mount. Yeah, because the legal woes mount are trumped up by them, and it's a slippery slope, like Peter King said. Once y'all start doing this bullshit, next thing you're going to do to every single Republican that runs for office that you feel that you can knock out the way through this conspiracy. But you're not looking at none of the conspiracy based on a creepy Joe ass Biden family and the rest of these motherfucking demon Democrats and the rest of them creepy motherfucking non-government doing pedophilic garbage shit. But we know where you got it from. So you want to try to tell Trump should not stay away from the 2024 election, and he should be the top nominee, and the world should understand why it is imperative that you put this man back in there, because you're too busy worrying about Satan and the Luciferian blood-sucking garbage, sucking them contracts and getting breaks from these people, and think that you're gaining something, and meanwhile, the more you gain is the more you lose. Especially when you're talking about AI and all kinds of different things coming your way. You know what I'm saying? The more you gain is the more you think you gain it is the more you're going to lose. Because one thing he's up there talking about this shit about the dangers of AI, but guess what? He and the rest of the demon Democrats at one point or another, not careful, going to use them same AI robots to round you up and put you in FEMA camps, because you don't want to believe it and want to believe that everything is a conspiracy. Well, keep on believing that, because that's the way of a child. See, we don't believe the conspiracy. We know the conspiracy. We know the bullshit that they've been doing. We've been watching. The rest of y'all been sucking balls and running with them, saying that they're doing good and this and that, talking about redistricting the lines and bring down the filibuster and blow open the debt ceiling and shit like that and fund the war that is completely unjust to Russia in all ways. I don't care how crooked Russia is. Russia is not a saint in this game. But at this time, what we see is going on with 32 or more nations, including Finland, coming up against Russia for whatever apparent reason that was never truly explained, other than the fact that you want to put a country, a city that's inside the old Russian territory, which is Russia, to join NATO, so you can put nuclear weapons in Ukraine. Don't give me that bullshit. And also trump up a war to aggravate Russia into a nuclear standoff in itself, talking about if they shoot a nuke, you're going to obliviate Russia. But what if Russia get 100 nukes out before you can do that? You sorry son of a bitch. People don't think about that, do you? And what happened to the rest of the world when that happens? You gonna protect us and take us to ground or take us to a new planet where we could see the shit, like like the 4th of July? You're not gonna you're not gonna do that. So you garbage then and you garbage now. You know what I'm saying? I think Trump should stay in there and fight the good fight all the way to the end. And I back Trump 100% for two reasons. One, the demon Democrats do not like to come out of government. They always want to be in there. And every time they're in there, they start a freaking war and spend all of our money sending billions of dollars elsewhere in these screwed up wars and funding the wrong people in the other countries to maintain power over the Africans and different shit like that, experimenting and all kinds of dumb shit, and spending billions of our dollars talking about philanthropists, Bill Gates, and Soros crooked behind, and all the shit that he can. I don't like that. They always accuse me of conspiracy. Yes, because you always in the middle of it, and you're always in there planning it out and doing this shit to our country. You know what I'm saying? You better realize and respect the black man and the black woman on this country, because we're the only one who create all that you see that you have today, including the tires on your wheels and your car that you're driving that comes from the rubber coast in Africa. So don't give me that bullshit. That's just keep it 100. Trump need to stay in there, Trumpy bit. Dig in, baby. You know what I'm saying? Dig in, baby. You know what I'm saying? We see another one coming in here talking about conspiracy theory made Tiffany Dover into an anti-greasing icon. She's finally ready to talk about it. Well, if you don't know by now, then what the hell is there to talk about? So she could talk about whatever she wants, but we need to investigate everything down the pipe, especially when it even comes to social media and the misinformation and disinformation garbage. You know what I'm saying? We see GOP House panel subpoenas FBI Director Christopher Wray. You know what I'm saying? So we see, you know what I'm saying? We see many things going on that's starting to look good. We see China experts warn war with the U.S. could break out very well before 2025. You know what I'm saying? We see Trump appeals order for Pence to testify in the January 6th probe. You know what I'm saying? Who gives a flying fuck about Mike Pence? Mike Pence is working for them. You know what I'm saying? He's a demon Democrat in Republican clothes. You know what I'm saying? He's crooked from the time he took it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's trusting Michael Pence, and you can kiss my behind. We see ex-prosecutor argues Jim Jordan should be locked up for Trump probe interference. You know what I'm saying? Well, you interfered with Donald J. Trump when Trump was trying to do something for the country in itself. So what the hell is you talking about? The fact that you mad is that you couldn't get the things that you want done to make this country into a shit place and bring on these different policies and rules and spying on Americans and signing contracts so we could have a 666 credit card and no money to go get other than using that card and all kinds of Luciferian garbage shit and the depopulation, whatever you call yourself doing. You're full of garbage then, and you're full of garbage now. But we see he's not interfering because you interfered with Donald J. Trump in many ways, and you're going to do it with other Republicans and other candidates as long as you get away with this bullshit that Alan Bragg's is doing. And they always put a black ass nigga to go do some dumb shit rather than think about the country. He busy done sucked the blood, took the money, and running with the beast. You know what I'm saying? But we see Glenn Kirshner, or whatever his name is, a former U.S. Army prosecutor and legal analyst for MSNBC, said House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan, Republican Ohio, broke a New York law forbidding obstruction or whatever, you know what I'm saying, obstruction of governmental administration, with his attempt to probe the Manhattan District Attorney Alan Lord Case Bragg's indictment of Trump. And he should, because, like I said, who's going to check the motherfucking checker? You know what I'm saying? You talking that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But who checks the checker? Because you know full well what you don't. Like General Sarah Sultan said, he said, if you don't check the checker, your pocket's gonna come up short. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening to American people while the demon Democrat feed you all the riches, gold, diamonds, and pearls. You're jerking the country and the regular people clean their rights, their civil rights, and all kinds of other rights clean from under them, while they only see the good that you're seeing on top. But when you look at the whole policy, and then you look at the policy and read, when you look at the policy, but then when you read the whole policy, then you realize that all the policy down here is saying something completely different when you look at the whole policy in itself. This is something a lot of people and the regular people out here do not do. So they're full of shit then and they're full of shit now. So I don't see why you would say that Jim Jordan is meddling into anything when we look at it. You know what I'm saying? When we look at it, you know what I'm saying? He's saying Krishna, you know what I'm saying, or whatever his name is, you know what I'm saying, slams Jim Jordan efforts in a recent episode of his Justice Matter podcast. Who give a flying fuck? Your podcast don't mean shit compared to saving this country from the garbage road that it's going down to. This sucker sound like a deep state, and he needs to pack his bag and go over the bridge with the rest of them fucking fools and keep moving. Don't come back. You know what I'm saying? Run them right into the sea and run these crazy ballets clean all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just be straight up, and we gotta run these crazy ballets clean out of town. And that ain't got nothing to do with Bob Marley. That has to do with me. You know what I'm saying? We need to run these bump head and football clean all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because you continue to feed into these people and not doing your full investigation, nor do you care, you know what I'm saying? Because you too busy licking and running with the beast. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got no time to be hearing none of this garbage. You know what I'm saying? None of this garbage. You know what I'm saying? So this is Point Black saying, stay right, stay tight. We're going to stay in the fight. I'm going to hold it here and we're going to come back with more tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, as I would say, farewell, my friends. One, we will